We're rolling. We got it. We're booted up. What's up? What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode. I hope you guys and girls are enjoying your motherfucking Thursday, chilling, maxing, relaxing, and just doing your thing. All right. So this one is actually it's odd, okay? Because there's no like set time to rest for everybody because not everybody does the same exact workload in terms of like the gym and things like that, or at least their jobs and all that stuff and how that all plays in. The kids and all that. Like, there's so many factors. Okay, I'm just diving right into it. I'm gonna let you know what we're talking about today, but there's so many factors that come into play when you're considering how often you should rest from the gym and just in general how often you should just rest, relax, and like de-stress. All right, so in today's live stream, what we're going to be doing today in today's live stream is chatting about sort of like my rest days, how I take them, also what I do to relax. And there's rest days and then relaxation. And relaxation is sort of geared towards reducing stress. And we're going to talk about that, reducing stress and relaxation for the muscle, the difference between the two, and why it's so important to incorporate a schedule for both of them. All right, and you're going to see me moving my head to the right a lot because I've got Facebook and Twitter on the right side today. Just testing it out, seeing how the lighting looks and all that stuff. It looks a little bit better, so I'm messing with it. But yeah, guys and girls, today we're going to dive into it. I'm just going to put it up over here. And when I say it, I'm referring to the title of today's live stream so that we can get folks joining, folks in the house that actually want to like listen live and ask questions live. Because that's what we do. You feel me? All right. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down without wasting any time. This is going to be pretty short and sweet. This is not going to be a lengthy one. Usually I go live for 20 to 30 minutes. Today we're going to keep it under 10. Okay, so rest days. Now, when I say rest days, I'm speaking specifically, um, in relation to taking time off of the gym. Okay, like taking time off of the gym, relaxing. Oh, what do we got here? Just gonna fix that one up over here on Facebook. We're lagging a little bit. So rest days. Rest days essentially taking time off of the gym. Okay, letting your body heal, letting your body do what it needs to do in order to allow yourself to come back and like perform it like optimally, right? To come back and kill it without actually feel like you're killing yourself. So giving yourself a break in terms of giving yourself a rest day is mandatory. Most people would say, "Oh, that's excuse my language." Not like I really have to excuse my language at this point, but a lot of people would say, "Oh, that's pussy shit. That's BS, man. Like rest days are for pussies." And like, yo, I used to be one of those people. I'm putting up my hand. That used to be me. I swear to God, I used to just laugh at people that would talk about rest days because I didn't understand. Not that I didn't understand, but I guess you could say I didn't understand because I was extremely young and my joints were just always fresh. Even though I still should have rested, didn't feel like I needed to, so I didn't. The importance of resting, taking time off of the gym, is something I can't even like begin to reiterate, something that I can't even begin to bring up in front of you. Like it's extremely important. It's so important to be able to give yourself the time that you need to uptake the amount of nutrients that you need to on your rest days. Yes, they should be different. We're gonna talk a little bit about that later on. You give yourself the chance, your joints the chance to fucking breathe. Okay, to give your central nervous system a time, the time to recuperate, so we're not always on blast, right? And most importantly, it helps reduce stress. So this is sort of counterintuitive almost. It's almost going to sound like it. And the reason why is because, you go to the gym. Some people go to the gym to relieve stress. Like it's a thing. It's real. You can, get your stress relieved if you have a really hard training session and all that stuff. Like you can relieve stress. It's true. But the thing is this, if you continue training and training and training and training without giving yourself an adequate like rest day, like I'm talking about a day where you're resting and you're not lifting at all, or 2 days, 3 days where you're not lifting at all, but you're active. Okay, rest day doesn't mean don't do jack all. I mean, do your cardio still. I do my cardio on rest days. Matter of fact, cardio should be done every day. You should never not do cardio. That's my opinion. But rest days itself, if you continue not to take them, it's going to catch up to you. There's going to be that one day where you're lifting the same exact amount of weight and it just feels heavier. And then one day it's now something's torn, something's snapped, something is pulled, and you're out for a while. So I say it's better to be preventative than, or it's better to be preventative and proactive than reactive, right? So it's better to take the rest when you don't feel like you need it, as opposed to waiting to actually need to take the rest because you're fucking injured, right? It's just like it's like beating the hare to the race. You know, the tortoise versus the hare, right? You're gonna be the tortoise. You gotta be calm, calculated. You gotta like sort of anticipate a whole bunch of things. Hey, Brittany, I see you. You gotta calculate a whole bunch of things. Not calculate, but I would say anticipate a bunch of things just so they don't happen, right? Like just to be preventative, to give yourself rest, even though you know you probably feel like you can go there and crush it a little bit more, to give yourself a rest, even though you know you feel like you just need to go to the fucking gym today. Like that's important because when you do go back into the gym and when you do go in full steam, you'll be ready to kill it. And you would have done all the precautionary measures like beforehand to be preventative, to be proactive instead of reactive, you know, to do something before it might happen as opposed to after it fucking does, right? Because after it happens, now you've got an injured muscle or a bone's broken or something, and you don't want to get to that point. Believe me, you don't. Because then if you thought taking 1 day off was bad, try taking months off against your will because you're injured and you can't lift. All right. So always factor in your rest days and relax when it comes to your training protocol. When I look at a training protocol, rest days are it's a part of it. It's like leg day. Can't skip rest day. I know, right? Sounds fucking weird, but it's true. You skip rest day, again, I'm sorry, not sorry. This is it's just gonna happen. It's inevitable. Your body, it'll catch up to your body. You will feel that pain one day and just be like, oh fuck. It's a little bit harder to do the exact same thing. Or if you're challenging yourself, I feel a little bit, painful in this area, that area. It's because you're not giving yourself the, adequate amount of rest. And when I say rest, guys and girls, I'm not saying go stay home and do nothing. Do your cardio. Personally, right now, because I'm getting ready for a show, I'm doing 1 hour cardio every day, 7 days a week, right? 7 hours a week cardio, right? But in the off season, between 30 minutes to 1 hour. This off season, I'm going to try my best to keep it 45 minutes to 1 hour every single day, no matter what. And that's just great for your heart. It's great for your cardiovascular, right? Aside from just getting up and doing something, it's actually healthy for your heart. I recommend you do 150. I think the recommendation to be healthy is to do 120 or 150 between there. Don't quote me. Minutes of cardio a week, and that pans out to like 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. Okay. Right. So you can do that. That's an option. Always do something while you are resting. Okay. And another thing I want to bring up, which is a part of rest, is your nutrition. The days that you're not in the gym, the days that you're not actually, burning the same amount of calories by doing a combination of cardio and training, or just training if you're not doing any cardio at this point in time, which I don't know why the fuck you're not doing it. There's no excuse not to, except that you're lazy. Um, Even if you're bulking, do cardio because you'll be able to eat more, put on leaner gains. But that's a different conversation for another day. The thing is, you're not burning the same amount of calories when you're on your rest day. So you need to be able to accommodate for the lack of caloric expenditure, for the lack of the ability to burn calories. You need to compensate in your nutrition for that, which means you're going to be eating slightly less calories, which means you're going to be eating slightly less carbs, right? Because you're not in the gym burning all of that off, right? You're not in the gym, burning, or that day you're not spending burning the same amount of calories that you would if you were on a training day, right? So you need to accommodate for that. Okay. So rest days means still do your cardio, still eat according to plan, assuming you have a plan, first of all. And if you don't, I don't know why you don't, but stick to the plan. If it's to gain muscle, if it's to burn fat, stick to the plan. Okay, rest days typically you're going to be eating a little bit less, right? Just so your body doesn't overspill. When I say overspill, I'm talking about the way you metabolize carbohydrates and how that affects your look based off of the fat and water that's accumulated after you consume those carbohydrates. Okay, so we talked about rest days, resting, whatever you're going to do when it comes to the physical aspect of it all. But let's talk about the mental aspect of it all, right? And guys and girls, feel free to drop your questions and comments as I go along. I will tune into them at the end of this live stream/podcast. All right. So I see your comments, see your questions. I'm not ignoring you. Don't be a sitting duck. We're going to get through this, and then we're going to chat a little bit at the end, as usual. All right. So we talked about the rest days, when it comes to your nutrition and when it comes to what your habits and routine should be in terms of cardio. But let's talk about what goes on in your head. Let's talk about stress. And this one is a lot more general than just like rest days, away from the gym. Because stress, guys and girls, affects you in so many ways. Like it could even be a training day where you go in and you're training, but you're stressed. You go home, you're still stressed. The next day you wake up, you're still stressed. If you're constantly stressed all the time, your body's likeliness to produce cortisol, okay? Cortisol, just to make it really simple, as simple and as basic as I possibly can. Your brain will produce it when you are in a fight or flight situation, when you're like really stressed out, when you're very tense, anxious, and like, when you go through that nerve wracking feeling, or that feeling of like taking a risk and all that stuff. Like it's related to adrenaline, but it's not adrenaline. Cortisol is bad. You don't want to be producing it. Think of serotonin. Think of dopamine. Okay, the feel good, the happy, hormones your brain can secrete. It's the complete opposite. Cortisol holds you back. It fucks with your sleep, especially if you're not getting enough sleep. Right, it's gonna mess with your sleep. And even worse, the number one thing I hate about cortisol, which everyone experiences that is stressed out, unless you have some other condition, and in which I'm jealous of you, is water retention and potential weight gain. If you have high cortisol levels, even if you are training, even if you are in a caloric deficit, even if you are doing everything you need to do to burn fat, your rate of progress could be dramatically halted, if not stopped, stalled, plateaued, if your cortisol levels are high. And this is prevalent in like, especially even like bodybuilders and athletes like myself. Everyone, yes, but even amongst us, you can't beat it. Which is why I said if you have some condition where cortisol doesn't affect you, give me your genetics. So cortisol comes from like lack of sleep. Cortisol comes from stress, being in situations where you're just fucking stressed out all the time, where you can't catch a fucking break. Cortisol comes from this constantly being in a state of fear, constantly being in a state of like depression, constantly being in a state of just anxiety. You know what I'm saying? It's negative. You don't want to, be in a state like that the whole time. So it messes with your mindset. And it's going to impact your mindset even more when you realize, oh, my weight isn't changing, but I'm doing everything right. I got the coach and I got, I'm following the coach and I'm listening and everything, but I'm still not losing weight at the rate that I want to, or I'm plateaued. I'm not losing any weight this week or for the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks. It's about time you actually started to focus on the quality of your sleep. Okay. There are so many things that I want to talk about when it comes to reducing stress. And there are so many things we could talk about. Like literally, we can go down this rabbit hole and talk about it. You dig? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But I'm gonna bring up a couple of things from myself that I do personally, and I'm gonna keep it a fucking stack. I'm gonna keep it honest with you guys and girls as I always do anyway. So I'm gonna give you the few things that really calm me down, that really help me relax, especially at a time like now when I'm 9 days away from nationals and stress tends to get higher and anxiety tends to get higher, as well as cortisol, which you don't want because I want to burn my fat and water to look my very best on stage. One thing that I do, and I'm not recommending any of these things to you guys and girls. All right, get that straight. I'm not recommending anything to you guys and girls. Okay. And if this is illegal where you stay, that's why I'm not recommending it to you. But for myself, what helps me relax or what can help me relax is THC. I personally don't use a lighter. I personally don't smoke it. And it's been like almost 2 years since I've actually smoked it. But what I'll do is I'll ingest an edible or some form of elixir or ingest a dab concentrate of any form. Again, just to eliminate combustion, or an herbal vaporizer. Again, to eliminate combustion, so I'm not consuming carbon monoxide. Again, we can have this chat later on. I can dive in a little bit deeper about THC, my use with it, how it's affected my gym, my appetite, my sleep, even. Yeah, it does affect your sleep. We can talk about that probably at a later date, most likely tomorrow. I'll probably bring it up just because it's a hot topic. Who doesn't want to talk about weed? But THC. Okay, so THC, it can help me. anything too much of anything is bad if you abuse it. Like, and that's definitely happened to me in the past too. If you abuse it, it's not good for you. It's not going to do anything for you at all. It's gonna actually probably increase your cortisol because you're gonna be stressed out, doing fuck all with your day, and then feeling, like shit at the end of the day because you didn't do anything because you were so high, right? But THC, if you use correctly at the proper times and the proper dosages, can actually give you a benefit, can help you with your sleep, can help you with your appetite, can help you just feel better altogether because it does help with the release of dopamine. Dopamine does directly combat cortisol. Okay. And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not your mom or your dad. I'm not telling you to fucking do anything here. I'm literally giving you my experience, what's worked for me, and what's working for me. Again, so THC was the first thing. The second thing that I like to do that helps calm my nerves, again, like outside of the gym, outside of anything with a laptop or a phone, like, and this one is actually recent. This one is very, very recent. Actually, you know what? I'll talk about that at the end. This one, what I'm going to talk about right now is massages. Okay. If you can't afford to get massages, I get it. Right. If you don't have benefits, I get it. Go online, go on Amazon, go order a TENS unit or go order a scraping device. Get yourself in a fucking Epsom salt bath. All right. Sit in it, relax, calm your nerves, play your favorite music. Shoot, would be a good time to combine THC with it. Not telling you to do it, not telling you not to do it. I'm not your doctor, I'm not your mom or your dad, but I'm saying that helps. The Epsom salt will definitely, guys and girls, and it's a trick that I learned from one of my one of my previous coaches that I've worked with. It'll definitely help calm you down. Epsom salt bath. Okay, do that on a routine basis. Go on Amazon, get a little freaking scraping tool that you see at those um uh physiotherapy clinics. And yeah, again, use it. Break open the muscle tissue. Give yourself a massage. Not that kind of massage, but that could help too. You don't want to PG-13. All right. So, but THC, Epsom salt bath help. And the last thing that I want to bring up, which is actually a surprise to me, kind of, is this. The last thing that is a surprise to me was because I'll say I haven't really done this in a while. It's been years. I used to play a lot of video games. If you play video games, put your hand up. If you're watching this replay and you play video games, put your hands up. Because I used to be addicted. And my franchise, the franchise that I fancy would be Halo, right? I play a bunch of other games too, but Halo was my thing. And I realized that when I play that game, I'd feel a lot calmer. I'd feel a lot more relaxed and all that stuff. Because video games can actually help you reduce stress, right? So that's something that now I'm actually incorporating into my schedule, just like a relaxation, or sorry, just like a rest day. How you incorporate a rest day into your schedule, into your routine. I actually have stress relief days, not even stress relief days, but times in the day where I'm relieving as much stress as possible, especially because I'm getting ready for this competition and I don't want my nerves to be up and I don't want to be producing cortisol. So I'll sit there and I'll game. I'll play games. I'll call up my old buddies and we'll play games, right? Video games help me relax. And I just realized that I remember that I actually like video games yesterday. So I went out and I got myself a console just so I could sit here and actually, see if it's really going to help me out. And I did. And I really liked it. I'll be honest with you guys and girls. I sat here, I liked it. I played it, and it really made me feel relaxed. And I can definitely attribute it to dopamine. Dopamine releases in your brain because any sort of achievement or satisfaction you get with anything in a video game is going to result in that feeling of the release of dopamine, right? Because it's a reward. Oh, you get a kill, reward. You got a kill streak, reward. So video games is one of the new things that I found, or one of my old loves that I've reintroduced back into my life to help me reduce stress recently, and it's done a number on me. So I inspire you guys and girls to do the same thing for yourself. Do some digging, do some soul searching, find what you like, find what calms you down, find what relaxes you, and spend time doing that when you can, because relaxation and rest are the biggest freaking tools that nobody knows about, or at least cares about. And that will give you an edge, not only just on a physical front, but on a mental front, because your mind is clear. You are happy. You are enjoying the moment. You are present. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Reading can be another thing. Reading doesn't necessarily calm me down. it just makes me feel like more accomplished. Like it makes me feel like I've done something. Like so I'll read in the morning and that's like making your bed. It's like I made my bed. You when you make your bed and you stand back and you look and you just look at it and it's just made, satisfying. Reading is like satisfying to me. Sit there, read. Oh, I read today. Satisfying, right? Doesn't necessarily help me relax, maybe before bed, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big reader. It's more so in the morning, just to have good habits. But video games, yeah, that's something that I found again that I didn't know that I really, still loved. And it made I slept like a baby last night. I slept really well. So it was I just recommend you guys and girls find something that releases stress for you and also incorporate your rest days. Don't skip your cardio on your rest days, for Christ's sake. Eat what you need to eat on your rest days. Don't overeat because I'm sitting at home. You're not going to be burning the same amount of calories as you would in the gym. So why would you eat more than if you were to go to the gym, especially if your goal is fat loss? Okay. So that's it. That's all for today. I'm going to look at some of the comments here on Instagram. Just a couple of questions, just two questions, and then I'm gonna dip out. Most likely going to play one or two games of the new Halo Infinite. If you guys and girls are fans of the Halo franchise, you'd know what I'm talking about. The game just released. Maybe I'll do a couple of bouts with my buddy in UK, and that's it. I'll go do my cardio and move forward on with that. We got leg day tonight or leg night tonight, so I'm doing everything I can to just keep my mind off of stress. All right. Just as you should, and get your rest days in just as you should. Right now, I'm resting 1 day a week. And next week, I'm probably going to be training only 4 days, as I will be, in peak week for my competition. I lied to you all. I said it was going to be less than 10 minutes, but here we are at 21 minutes. But I ain't mad at you because I like having this conversation with you guys and girls as always. So let's tune in over here real quick. My boy says, "Do you focus more on compound lifts when trying to gain muscle?" Actually, I got a live stream on this one as well, but so long story short, no. Because when I'm trying to gain muscle, I'm trying to really tear up the muscle fibers. I do incorporate compound lifts, but I don't. They're not my bread and butter. I don't just go there and do compound lifts and leave. I'll do compound lifts at the start of my workout when I'm most strong, when I have the freshest, like when I'm on like a fresh tank. I'll come in there, I'll bang out all my compounds, then do the accessories. Like today, for example, when I hit legs, I'll be doing my squats, my back squats, and then I'll be doing my RDLs, uh, barbell compound, and then right after that, it's everything else is accessory or just free weight dumbbell. Okay. So when focusing on trying to gain muscle, look at your physique, what your strong points are, what your weak points are, and build a plan based off of that. I personally would recommend hitting your compound lifts first, as you will be stronger. And you'll be able to hit it, with a lot more strength, and then use that momentum and carry it on to the other machines and free weights, right? So that's my answer to you, buddy. He also asks free weights or machines. Again, I don't just do one or the other. I do both. Okay. So you got to find a balance based off of what you look like and what you want to look like and where you're currently at. That's a good question, though. I appreciate that. All right, people. Oh, Brittany says, I feel stronger after having a good rest time. Epsom salt bath, game changer. So she knows. She knows. I'm glad the game has been changed for you. Keep changing the game. You know what's up. You feel me? All right. Let's get it out of here. I'll be back again tomorrow for the last live stream of the week. You already know what's good, people. It's nothing but love. I appreciate each and every single one of you for always showing up and showing out. And for those of you that are sitting ducks, fucking say something the next time you join. I'm not going to rip your head off. I just want you to talk. I want to have this conversation. That's why we do this live. All right. Hope y'all have the sickest fucking day of your life. Chat to you tomorrow. You already know what it is. We're out, people. Boom.